It looks like it wasn't the best thing for Chelsea. We were on a bit of a roll before the international break, but you can't use that as an excuse. It's the same for every other team. Villa had internationals that went out on duty during that 2-week break, and so we should have had enough, more than enough, to get something out of the game against them. You mentioned Real Madrid, and that's what we've all got our eye on, really. I know there's still something to play for in the league, but the game against Real Madrid in the quarterfinals of the Champions League is what we're all here for, really. But you can't go into that game cold. You've got to ramp into it. You've got to go into it with a bit of momentum. We've got Liverpool midweek, that's not a given despite their poor form. Then we've got Wolves, and then we play Real Madrid. We kind of have to build up to that game if we want to get anything out of it. We have got an incredibly good record against Real Madrid in Europe, one of the best, I think, of all time, any team in Europe. So we've always got a chance in European competitions. It's Chelsea heritage to perform well in European competitions when the league isn't going that well for us. We've done it before, we can do it again, but we need to start picking up points in the league if we are going to build that Real Madrid game and try and get anything out of those two ties.
27 shots we had, Sam, on goal today, which I think shows one or two things. One, how the application was there in terms of, you know, it's never been a case of players not putting it in, because every single player, every single week, it feels like they leave everything on the pitch. It just feels that sometimes teams come here, they dig in, they get an early goal like they did with the Ollie Watkins one, and then all of a sudden they're asking questions for Chelsea to answer. And if football was played on paper, then, you know, everything will be a lot easier. But it wasn't. You know, you have 27 shots on target, and the two things you look at is, one, how well the other team defend to do that, but secondly, how many times has a goalkeeper made sort of a worldy save to keep minute. And unfortunately, Villa are preventing Chelsea getting into that position where you're forcing Emi Martinez to do something special. And I think that you've got to look at it both ways. That the continuity in terms of the Chelsea selection, we haven't been able to find a rhythm just yet in terms of the same team selection, the same 4 or 5 to play out front. Again, injuries, international break plays a part in that, but ultimately those are the questions that you need to find an answer to sooner rather than later, aren't they?
Yeah, and let's give it to him. You know, Aston Villa and Martinez, he had a great game. You know, he stopped Mudrik's chance very early on. You know, that could have changed the game completely, could have changed the confidence to the side. And those are the moments that you wish to, you know, just hasn't gone in our favour for, like, feels like this season and beyond that. You know, we haven't really got a rhythm up front. I think we haven't scored that many goals this season if we compare it to other seasons up until this point. And I think it's just, we just need the luck to go in our favour, because we're clearly creating the chances, we're clearly trying to get into those areas. And I think sometimes you see when we're playing, some of the players have that hesitation in front of goal because of that, maybe that lack of confidence. And at this point, it's like, we're disappointed. We know the players are disappointed. They're probably kicking themselves. They're all looking at the chance that they've created and know that they could have done more, and we just got to go again. And like we said, we've got a game against Liverpool where they're in a similar vein of form, and we know that if we're able to get that result over them, we can, you know, kick on. That's what it's all about. You know, it's all about momentum. Obviously, this is a kick to the teeth, but just got to keep going.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Right, let's get the answer to our trivia question a little bit earlier on then. So, who scored 5 goals between the 2 games where Chelsea won 8-0 and 7-1 earlier?
Whoever
in the
it is,
season?
We need them playing for us now.
I'll go Anelka. I'll go Anelka.
Anelka, who are you saying, Kwaku?
I'm going to say Frank.
Frank. Okay, I'm going to go. I think Frank's a good shout. I think Didier probably would have been in and around it, but let's have a little look. And it was Frank Lampard. Good work. Yeah, good work. Again, it's an easy one, isn't it, to go with Frank? If ever you're looking at a goal scorer, it's usually Frank, isn't it?
Especially a goal scorer against Aston Villa. Like I said, we could have done with him out there. He would have bagged a couple. And that's what we need as well. Sorry to interrupt, but we need goals from midfield. We need goals from not just our attackers. I know we're looking at Mudrik's chance, and we're looking at maybe chances that Felix and Havertz have, but we need goals from everywhere, really. Yeah. I know that Kovacic has been a decent goal scoring from internationally and for Chelsea before the break, but that's what we need to kind of work on. Goals from all over the pitch, because it's going to need a collective effort to kind of get us to a level that we want to get to. Absolutely right, mate. Absolutely right. Yeah, and of course, still plenty of football to be played this week, in fact, here at Chelsea. Obviously, a massive one on Tuesday evening. Do make sure you join us for that one. Liverpool come to the Bridge. Matchday Live, a Premier League one. It's a big game now. It's an even bigger game than it was a few hours ago. Boys, it is going to be a very important one, so make sure you join us for it, no matter where you are watching in the world. Obviously, you can get involved in the show regardless. One word then to sum up today's game, Sam.
Disappointing.
Kwaku?
Sad.
Sad. Boys, brilliant as always. Brilliant as always. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be this afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. We go again on Tuesday evening. Of course we do. We're a team. We win and lose together, and that's exactly how we will do it. So join us on Tuesday for Matchday Live as Chelsea take on Liverpool. For the rest of us and the rest of the evening, enjoy your weekend.